First, let me put a shout out, if I could, for www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. If you're over 40 and you're planning to retire someday, the window to protect what you've built may be smaller than you realize. Here's a question most people never ask. Is your portfolio built for what's coming next? Many investors in their 40s and 50s discovered they have little to no exposure to precious metals. That means their savings are largely tied up in the markets, the policies, the paper assets, with very little protection if conditions change, and they are changing. As retirement moves from someday to on the horizon, protecting what you've already built becomes just as important as growing it. That's where Noble Gold comes in. They're helping investors reduce the risk by adding physical gold to their portfolios. That's right, gold, a biblical currency. Right now may be the smart time to talk to Noble Gold. I highly recommend it. Go to the link below the video. Go to www.pastorpaulgold.com or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. Why? There'll be no pressure. There'll be no sales gimmicks. Just clear answers and a strategy built around your goals. I highly recommend it, guys. And if you qualify, and you probably do, they're giving away this 3-ounce silver coin. Are you serious? 3-ounce silver coin. Amazing. Free for those who set up a gold or silver IRA or 401k or qualify, and you probably do. Check it out now, okay? You will be glad that you did.
French President Emmanuel Macron plans to ask the EU to activate its trade, quote, bazooka, the anti-coercion instrument, in response to President Trump's tariff threats over Greenland. The mechanism allows the EU to impose punitive trade measures, including restrictions on investment, public procurement, and intellectual property, against countries that attempt to coerce the bloc. Macron emphasized that Europe will respond in a united, coordinated way to defend its sovereignty, calling tariff threats unacceptable. EU ambassadors are holding an emergency meeting to discuss the response, while the European Parliament is considering blocking the ratification of last year's EU-US trade deal, Politico has reported. 8 NATO countries, including France, Denmark, and the United Kingdom, expressed full solidarity with Greenland and Denmark, warning that Trump's threats could destabilize transatlantic relations. The Trump administration is proposing a $1 billion payment for permanent membership on the newly established Board of Peace, which is a UN-backed body overseeing the Israel-Hamas ceasefire. President Trump is expected to serve as the board's inaugural chairman, with authority to invite members and approve decisions, while member states would otherwise serve 3-year terms. The board's mandate is to rebuild Gaza with virtually every dollar raised going toward that effort, though the location of collected funds remains unclear. Invitations have gone out to several countries, including Canada, Argentina, Hungary, India, Jordan, Greece, Cyprus, and Pakistan, with more announcements expected, CNBC has reported. A founding executive board has been appointed featuring Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, World Bank President Ajay Banga, and others to oversee Gaza's stabilization and reconstruction. At least 5,000 people have been killed in nationwide protest in Iran since late December, including about 500 security personnel, this according to an Iranian regional official. The unrest, sparked by economic hardship and then escalating into calls to end clerical rule, represents the deadliest turmoil since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Iranian leaders, including Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, blamed the deaths on, quote, terrorists and rioters, allegedly backed by the United States and Israel, while U.S. President Donald Trump accused Tehran of killing protesters and then called for new leadership. Rights groups, HRANA, reported a lower confirmed death toll of more than 3,300, with thousands more cases still under review and over 24,000 arrested, CNBC has reported. Authorities say the crackdown has largely quelled protest, though witnesses and verified videos show security forces using lethal force against demonstrators.
The world is experiencing an alarming series of apocalyptic events, historic weather disasters, earthquakes, droughts, wildfires, impending economic collapse, the rise of AI. In Revelation 9/11, Pastor Paul Begley and Pulitzer-nominated journalist Troy Anderson investigate if these are the true signs of the end times. Is this the final meeting of current events and prophecy referred to in the Bible? Revelation 9/11. Order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Target.com.